Hi everybody, and welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. I'm Richard, and today I've got the Howa out here on the range. We're going to do the break-in procedure, which is kind of a lengthy procedure. It's going to cost me 20 shots, 10 single shots and a cleaning between each one. You got to allow the barrel to cool all the way down before you do the next shot. I'm going to do an initial sight in. I'm not going to actually sight the scope in, zero it, until I've completed the whole barrel seasoning or break-in process, and then we'll get to that. So the first thing I want to do, I got my target set up 100 yards. I'm going to go ahead and bore sight it. Bore sighting is nothing spectacular. You pull the bolt out, you look through the barrel, find your target, and then you look through the scope and see if they come close to lining up. And then you got to fine tune it, but not until after the break-in procedure. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing bore sighted, get it loaded up, and then go through the cleaning procedure. I'm going to save you a bunch of the details on it because it's a lengthy process. It should take roughly, probably an hour and a half or so to do it. It's a very slow process. All right, the scope has got 0 stop turrets on it. So what that means is I can set the turret top, the part of the knob that you turn, to stop at 0 once I get it adjusted. So the first thing you got to do with this one is take your turret cap off, and there are 2 small screws on there. You need to loosen those up and do all your adjustments through the center screw on there. You can use a regular screwdriver, or you can go ahead and put your turret cap back on there because it grabs that center post. And then zero it in. Once you've got it zeroed, then you lock these 2 little screws down. You just back them off a little bit, and then you can do all your adjustments with the centerpiece. All right, hopefully that'll get me on paper anyways, and then I'll fine tune it after that. I'm not gonna worry about zeroing it in perfectly until after I've got the barrel conditioned or seasoned or broken in, whatever you wanna call it. Okay, what the theory is behind this is that during the machining process, when they cut the rifling in the barrel, it leaves little microscopic burrs or pits, pores, whatever, little pieces of metal that might be sticking up a little bit. So what they recommend you do is use a few bullets, in this case 20 of them, to burnish or push down those high points in there and kind of smooth the barrel out. They do not recommend that you use a abrasive cleaner to do that, but you don't want to remove any metal, you just want to burnish it, slick it up a little bit. So I'm going to be putting some Federal Premium, these are gold medal S.C.A.R Match King 140 grain bullets. The little chart on the back here says the velocity is 2675 at the muzzle, 2509 at 100 yards. I'm going to zero it at 100, and at 500 yards that'll give me 57.5 inches of drop. Of course here I'm only shooting 100 yards anyways, and that's usually about the average where people zero things in at. You can zero it in at 200 too. There is a chart on there that tells you what your bullet drop's going to be. But these are a full metal jacket bullet, and that's what they recommend, just factory loads. We're just going to put 1 round in there at a time because I'm going to pull the magazine and the bolt out every time I make a shot, at least for my first 10. Then my next 10 are going to be 2 shots and pulled out. I want air to get through there. I don't want to get the barrel hot. I don't want it to get warm. I want it to cool all the way down to ambient temperature. It's been sitting out here for a little bit. It should be ambient temperature right now, which is somewhere in the 60s, I would say. But we'll go ahead and get 1 round loaded in there. I've got the rifle somewhat bore sighted, and I'll get the eyes and ears on, give it a shot, see if I'm close to being on paper anyways. I just don't want to shoot and be, feet away from it. I've got plenty of backstop back there. I'm not worried about an errant bullet going somewhere. But eyes and ears. And we're going to give this thing, rack it up. I have cleaned it. I have made sure there are no obstructions in the bore. And we're going to give it a try. I also do not have gravel in my hydro sled yet. I will get some in there. Let's see if I'm even close. I don't see my point of impact anywhere in there, but since I'm going to let this thing cool down anyways, pull the bolt out, pull the magazine out, let the barrel chill for a little bit, then I'll come back and do the cleaning on it. All right, that was way off. I'm about 4 inches to the left and about 10 or 12 inches down. Whoo-wee. So I'll get this thing a little closer. That way, like I said, I'm not fine tuning it, but I want to get it close. All right, the cleaning of this thing. Like I said, it's a pretty lengthy procedure, and what you want to do is you want to get a good cleaner that removes copper fouling. Now this is usually some pretty nasty stuff. This is ProShot Products Copper Solvent. I've never used it before. I've never done a break-in procedure like this for a rifle. But Howa recommends it. I've watched a few videos on it, and I'm going to give it a try and see if it really makes a difference. Some people say it does, some people say it doesn't. Now another thing I've got here is most jags are going to be brass, and these copper solvent cleaners will eat up brass. It's a copper alloy anyways. So you want to get a jag that Tipton makes one that is plated, and this is the Tipton Ultra Jag, and what it is plated so that it does not you know, deteriorate with the use of the copper solvents. Another thing you probably want to do is, if you're using the copper solvents, is wear some gloves. It's pretty nasty stuff. If it'll eat up copper, who knows what it might do to your fingers. I also got a universal, this is a Lyman universal bore guide. Now this will keep you from slopping a bunch of solvent in the bolt area and everything. So we're going to get this thing opened up and get it put in there too. Insert it right where your bolt goes. This kind of guides everything so it goes right down the bore. And that just makes it easier. You'll work it just like the bolt when you go to put it in there. It is aluminum. It should not harm the finish of your gun. There's also, if I can find it on here, there's also a slot. Ideally you want to have that slot looking up, because you put your patch in there, then you can soak your patch with the solvent right through that slot. Now I don't have an eyedropper or a squeeze bottle or anything, so what I'm going to do is take the patch, that's why I got the glove on, and dip it in the solvent there. You want to get a pretty wet patch. Put it on the end of your jag, and then run it through the bore guide. It's looking like it could be about 5 or 6 patches for each cleaning, just to get it, the bore nice and clean and dry. All right, that one looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and load up another round. Eyes and ears, and we'll do it again. All right, I can see the point of impact on there. It looks like it's about 4 inches high and 2 inches to the right. So I'll readjust just to get it close, and we'll move on. Round 4. First shot, second shot, third shot, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And I don't even have the barrel broke in yet. That is the break-in procedure. 20 rounds, 10 single shots, and then 5 double shots, cleaning in between each one of them. Now that I've got it where they considered it broke in, at least what's recommended on the website, I'm going to go ahead and zero this scope in at 100 yards. I've got those 2 targets up there. Each one of them's got a dot in each corner. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to adjust my scope just where it's hidden dead center and go from there. Not too bad. We'll go ahead and do another, let's do a 5-shot group on one of the other ones. That one was the top target, upper right-hand corner. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 5 shots, top target, upper left-hand corner. All right, let's walk down there and take a look at it. Okay, after sighting it in, this was my first 3-shot group I did right there. That was my first shot, second shot, third shot. And this is the 5-shot group over here. I think that was, I think the first one was there. Anyways, there's 3 right there, 1 right there, and 1 right there. There's 5, that's within an inch right there. Those 2 are within an inch. There's 10 shots right there. Down here, we know the 1 hit on the plywood. Second shot, third shot, fourth, and then the other 6 are right in there. So this gun's pretty accurate, I would say anyways. It was probably pretty accurate even before the barrel break-in, but it's pretty good. I think I would do better with the with sandbags than I would with even the hydro sled. I don't have the gravel in it, don't have water, don't have any weight in it, so you know, it does bounce around a little bit, but sandbags don't vibrate. Even with the rifle in the hydro sled, I can still see my heartbeat in the scope. Sandbags dampen a lot of that, so it'd be a lot better with sandbags. All right, guys, there it is, the Howa 1500. I've got it, we got the barrel broke in, I've got the scope sighted in. I have to learn a whole new system, milliradians instead of minute of angle. But it is what it is, and I need to stretch this thing out because this 100-yard stuff it's kid stuff. Anyways, if you could, hit this button over here to check out some of my other videos. Hit this button up here to subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for watching Small Caliber Arms Review.